On behalf of the Institute and the participants of the Executive Management Program, it's my privilege to introduce our honorable guest, Mr. Surajit Khan, for this evening. Mr. Khan is currently heading the operations at VIOM Networks, a joint venture between Tata Teleservices and Wipro, and a pioneer in the shared positive telecom infrastructure industry in India. Mr. Khan is an alumni of the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, and brings in with him over 16 years of managerial experience in pan-India and overseas operations with specializations in operations, project, quality and customer services. Prior to this, he was also associated with reputed organizations like Bharti Infratel Limited and Otis Elevator Limited. As we begin with our session for today, I welcome Mr. Khan on stage and request him to enlighten us with his vast expertise and knowledge on the telecom industry. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Methodology. If I and you are in conversation, then if I start, that time no one else can't start from that same place. Once I finish, then only somebody can enter. So that's the way each pulse, different. We cannot make out. While we are talking, we can't make out. But the moment I am making a call, that time I am the unique guy who is entering the GSM network. How the globally this entire mobile technology is shaping up? How consumers are getting changed?
So you explain the difference between GSM and CDM, right?
Yeah.
So you are saying CDM is more than one.
CDM is like a cocktail party. I'll go back. CDM is more like a cocktail party. What happens that it's a 8-10 people are together. I am talking to you. At that time, somebody else would like to also talk to you. Don't think like that physically it's happening. I'm talking the network allows to have at the same time to have multiple phone calls. The technology helps. Whereas once I am making a GSM call at 2 o'clock, 1 p.m., 1 second, that time I only can start. If I start at that time, no one in that network can start. He might be starting at another 1/10 pulse of that. After that. That's the way the GSM technology works.
So that one is CDM.
Practically there is no difference.
You can't make out. Normal people can't make out anything. So it's a basically engineering things again. It's not required.
For user it is indifferent.
For users hardly gets it. Nowadays you get, I think that you feel that I think a lot of call drops happens. Very true. This is suddenly you are moving from Nizamuddin Beach. I know few other places in Delhi, South, I think RK Puram area or residential area. You will see that your call get drops and after a moment again your call starts. You just become an earlier days used to feel irritated. But nowadays you don't get irritated also. You just again make the call because calls also as rates have come down like anything. We can afford to have multiple mobiles. Anyway, see that how consumers' behavior has been changed and that pushed this industry from where it started with text-based and voice-based mobile. We used to have one mobile, still we do have Motorola, Samsung, each keyboard, each keypad would be having ABC, DEF and Hindi also, Kakhaga and all. A lot of things have been done Nokia once upon a time. But from there we have transformed. Now, if you see how wireless technology has changed our lifestyles. I don't know how many of you can read it. We walk, we talk, we sleep with our mobiles. I think it happens with young generations. If you talk about 18 to 35, this is the age brackets, they are obsessed with the telephones, the mobile. And they will be having all the latest smartphones in their hand. Whatever new product will be coming to the market, they are the first guy, go and procure it, correct? India as a market, we have 73% said they are very closer to their family once they got the mobile. I think most of you, those who are from far away from your hometown, I think every day probably talk to your parents, your brothers, sisters. Yes. Was that the scenario 15 years back, 10 years back? And at least our college, I remember they used to stand in a queue, 9 o'clock after and the call used to get reduced, half rate, at 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1/4 rate. Then only used to go and make a call to parents. Early morning before 8 o'clock used to finish our calls, otherwise rate would be very high at steady rates. I'm sorry, I think that you can't read much. I will try to read it for you. See, these are the 8 countries for which some 5,000 consumers had been surveyed by Qualcomm. 4,700 online and 300 are on phone. And just to get the how mobile actually has changed their life. I'll give the soft copies of this so that at least you can go through it. Made me feel safe and secure knowing that I can easily get help if I need it. Does it true? And green is India. Who scored highest over there? I think red is China and green is India. That's how you see it. And you see the US, which is the blue one. So you can make out, made day-to-day life in my country safer, improved life in my country in general much better than others on which India doesn't score much. Because we also do feel that it's not true. Given me access to a larger group of potential customers, those who will be into the advertising, marketing, as well as the consumer durable industries, you will be seeing that it's really, the technology has actually now evolved in such a manner that any kind of promotional campaign can be done online. And that too with mobile applications. Made it easier to access information to maintain the health of my family. China, typically people do stay in an urban area, semi-urban area, and they do come to the city to do the job. That's the way they develop. Their country is like that. So over there, their old parents do stay, their family do stay over there. So they have also that, since that age bracket, you all know, I think the China vis-a-vis India, the consumers have to do. Our average age bracket and their average age bracket is a huge difference. They have a 45 plus current average age bracket, but we have the 25 plus. Next, given citizens a greater voice in my country, I think Anna Hazare campaign would be the right one to tell. And how we could get the mass together in Jantar Mantar, I think this is the technology. Now think about few others, which is a bit negative. Distracted me when my children were ready to play with me. How many of you are married? I do not know. I hardly get time to talk to my kids. And my son also knows now, Papa is on con call. So typically 8:30 to 10:30 there is a con call fixed. So he knows that 8:30 to 10:30 in the evening it's con call time basically. So he automatically will be telling Papa is in con call. So help me achieve a better balance between work and family. India again scores there. And of course, education systems, online education systems. This is one of the areas I think that Mr. Kapoor will be also agree that online education sectors, which is that it's about to come in India. Every school will be having the network, every school will be giving the assignments to online. People will be fill up the online assignment and go back. It will be paperless industry for the even K-12 sector as well. Now, say which mobile device features have affected the way you live your life. In India, you will see that everywhere is score high. Green, if you see text messages, maximum. I think that we have a habit while we are talking, chatting, moving here and there, just message. It's needless, sometimes nonsense, but we do it. Mobile internet, suddenly something had happened. Some plane about to crash in Mumbai yesterday. I just browsed through that immediately through that, yeah, some news was there. So I tried to cross check it is in Patna or Mumbai because one of my friend was telling it was in Patna. Then I understood that both the places there was some near miss incident happening. Built-in camera. I think India do have the obsessions. Camera hai kya? Now, whenever you buy mobile, does it there or not? GPS navigation, I do not know how many of you do it. It is very popular outside India. Well, India started working on it, but I think it's still not been so proved because our roads are not that way marked up. Like it is not exit 22, then take left, you reach to the southeast. It is not like that. You do not know. You take a round, then after this fall, and sometimes you got technology faults.
So also because it's not voice enabled.
Yes, it's not a yet voice enabled. Right. Mobile games. I do not know about you, my son. If you give this to, as well as my wife have one smartphone, he knows all the latest one, he will apply new one also and he'll somehow start. I think it's applicable with everyone. Those who have a bit of time will do it. Location based ads, I think that those will be choosing the career into advertising. You will be seeing that how fruitful the mobile application based advertising is. You just can promote your product in Facebook with a blog. and you can see the kind of queries you'll be able to generate. While you walk, earlier you used to consider you are going somewhere. Nowadays, when I started from my home, I started calling and finding out, and I was lost. Because while we walk also, we don't consider where we are going. We are lost in conversations. That's the way the transformation has happened. Our thumbs become stronger now. Literally. This text, the way I message, the way you people do message, I'm sure you'll be seeing that we have adopted different technology. We can always be mentally, digitally, wherever you would like to be. That's the technology we have in our hand. This is the US-based markets. Typically, I'll just try to read. You know, how many of you have an obsession of checking your mobile whether anything has come or not? In 5 minutes, within 5 minutes, during your lunch time. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I read an article. I have seen that it mentioned that in a restaurant in Gurgaon, during lunchtime or dinner time, if you are going with your family, earlier used to keep umbrellas, na? They are asking to keep your mobile so that you can spend time with your family fully, nicely, and they'll give a discount of 10%. That's the way mobile we got addicted with, and we have left our family as well. How long could we go without with it? If you ask this question, these are only US consumers they have mentioned. 1 hour 11%, 1 week 19%, I think 1 day some 20%, and very few are saying some 24, several hours 24%. But US is a very different market. They have every 9 adults out of 10 adults who have one mobile, and they feel that it is one of the prerequisites. Like us, you think of in our days, pen, hanky. These are all is fine. These are all prerequisites when you go live. But other than your purse and mobile, if you leave your house, what happens? Very interesting. And you know that parts, how many of you keep along with you below the pillow or near the bed? Hardly anyone, if I am not wrong. Once you come home, you keep it some safe place, that's it. All your gadgets, all your, I think, plastic cards and everything will be there, but mobile you have to keep below the pillow or nearby. That's the way the mobile actually addicted us. So it's also the survey says 1% of the population keep it in car, 2% in other places like kitchen and all, 16% in the bedroom, 68% next to bed. And I am sure that similar survey would be here also if I go over here. And 13% in a different room from where we sleep. And you know, 29% of the respondents say that they normally lock their mobile. I don't lock. I used to lock in earlier days, but nowadays I hardly feel that there is also an obstruction. So it will get delayed. 29% only they do lock their mobile, protect, so that it should not go. Because nowadays it doesn't go. Even if you lose the mobile, you hardly bother. You immediately go and buy another one. You feel that as if you are lost. You are not into this world. 22% of respondents said they screen almost all their calls, tend to reply to voicemail via text or email. The moment you get a call, the moment you receive any message, we are, unless and until you reply, think you are not there. Even if you are sitting here, you got somebody is opening up the mobile also. If you got, you will be it will be irritating. Otherwise, you have to respond as if maybe nonsense response, but you have to give the response. That's the way the addiction is. Do you always use all mobile device while do various tasks? You see, while you are seeing a movie, last week I was there at in the city center along with my son. I suddenly got 2 calls. I had to take the call. Immediately one of the next person told, sir, you are in movie. You came here with your kid. Don't you think it's not the right place to take your call? I immediately closed. While you are driving a car, I think most of us, except police, we see somewhere, then you immediately say, please cool. Then you cross the red light and move on. Playing with your children, I think all of us, we hardly give time to the kids. We take any calls. Attending a party, all of us are aware of, I don't have to say anything. And if you see that how Indians are performing mental. Eating at a restaurant, watching TV, and while you are riding public transportations. So in a bus, like our now low-hanging bus, the Marco Polo, you can make out how many of the people, how many of that guys, those who are actually on phone. And very assigned. And nowadays there's all those wires are there. So somebody is laughing, suddenly, this is a very funny thing if you watch it. Typically, 18 to 35 is the age brackets where you will be seeing that. Text message, we do send sense nonsense, but in advanced market, they use it for their adultery purposes. Even Brazil is one of the country where they are so open, like we all know. They don't mind to send anything on the mobile. Whereas India, South Korea, China, we are still trailing on that trend. That's what it says. Does your mobile device come at time when you and your spouse? We all know the scenario is that whenever she has something to say, very emergency, and you have to, you are very busy, you call later, don't disturb now. That's the way we reciprocate immediately. Typically, if you see that how country-wise we consider that children should have mobile or not. What is your opinion? Kids?
They should have.
They should have.
They should have.
They should have.
No, average 13 years is the time period, the age which this survey group, they have considered that 13 years is the age when ideally person should have a mobile, can have a mobile, that are recommended. And if you see that is it good for children to be learning about technology at an early age,
Yes.
how our country had performed over there. 80% will say that yes, goes good. And typically South Korea do say that a lot of distractions among the kids if they use the mobile at an early age. So see, only thing is that technology is such thing you cannot get away with it. Better to make it an ally and see that. I think that when we got our television first, color television when I was in class 10 or 12, I remember my father asked me that I was the youngest son in my family. And we didn't have the television at that time because we used to feel that if television comes and it will be disturbing your televisions. So my father asked that now you are finishing your 12, his mother is alone, other two brothers already gone to the engineering college. So should I buy one television? That's the way television entered into the house. And today, it's nothing, like so many channels, and that time only 2 channels, DD1 and after that DD2. Correct? DD Metro. Has wireless technology made your country a more or less efficient place to do the business? Here if you see India again, we do feel as a country that mobile technology has actually transformed us. I was not aware of when I joined this industry, when I got connected to the rural areas, Bihar, and remotest area. I am talking about, North UP, Gorakhpur, Mao, Zonpur, then Bihar, you go Purnia, Sasaram. These are the districts. They don't have the normal 2 hours electricity, but they have mobile. And our towers are there, standing tall. And people do have 2 mobiles in their hand. They managed to have Ignore and MTS because MTS gives a lot of free 1 month kind of thing. A lot of promo is there. And Bihar is the only state where we do have all licenses open. So anyone and everyone can go and have the mobile services over there. How has wireless technology changed how you work? I started with life, then how started it in work. In India, again, 63% said they were able to manage much more work. I also myself feel that because of mobile, we are in a position to finish a lot of assignment faster, a lot of correction faster. That's the way we do it. China, again, it is, it's easier for them to be away from the office. See, today, a lot of companies, they don't require you have to be there every day, morning to evening, 9 to 5. It's not required. You early morning you go, you do some assignments and share something about past few days performance, and you just move on. They have one round table, laptops, desk. You just walk around and then after that you go back. And whole day you are with data card. By evening you give your reports. Your boss is happy. No one asks even. Earlier days you why didn't come to the office on time? movie देखने गया कि all those things used to come. Today those concepts are nowhere. So now, mobile device now, the how a decades later. Can you think of a very tricky question? Like any romance, moving from infatuation to commitment, the connection between people and their mobile device reflects what they got into the relationship in the past place. I got this line, I felt that it would be very good for you guys to hear at least. In countries where connection and convenience are difficult, these mobiles offer a kind of time travel. Delivering in the push of a button or touch of a screen the kind of progress other countries built over decades, which makes us wonder just how much smaller and smarter and faster and better might our device be a decade from now. You never know, we'll be having some small tiny tools you just have to touch and you just will be passing your all information. You won't be carrying your wallet also after a few days. You will be doing every transaction through mobile. The way the mobile applications are coming, any kind of transaction, you will go to chai shop, pan shop, you will just pay 5 rupees, you will transact and you will get your tea, your cigarette, whatsoever you would like to procure. And today US market they do. I am sharing, I think last week I went to Calcutta to procure, I had an official tour, so I could manage to get 2 hours to buy some puja shopping. Bengalis do some puja shopping, but the relatives and all. So I went to a sari shop. I was supposed to buy a very traditional Bengali sari. It's basically earliest our undivided Bengal, the Dhaka. So Dhaka is Jamdani. It's a very popular name. So I was supposed to buy it for my wife. So I didn't have a clue that which one I should buy. I just took 4 snaps by keeping it in front of me, sent it through Facebook. She gone through it immediately. She chosen one of that. Immediately I said, "You please give it to me." Was it possible earlier? Never. Never. You know that you go to the shops, any other shop in US, you just go through that, what are the prices over there, then you just do the random search into the nearby malls, same product, same tag, what is the prices, and you go out. And while you are going out, one of the PRO will come and ask, "Sir, why are you leaving?" "No, I believe that mall is giving you 10% lesser cost." "Sir, I will give it." That's the way the technology actually helps you to get the best bargain. So this is the consumer behavior. Now, I think as an industry, we need to think how we are ready to see that whatever the evolution is coming, are we coping up with them? Are we in a position to handle it properly? Because this industry will be booming. This industry has boomed for 72% rate year on year from 2001 to 2011. And next 5-6 years also you can see there will be growth, irrespective of whatsoever you are hearing. So landscapes are getting changed. A lot of new players are coming. You know this latest 2G license cancellations. Uninor or Telenor now, whatsoever way you say, MTS, Etisalat, so many companies. They got affected. We are under threat because Airtel will be becoming much more stronger, Vodafone will be becoming much more stronger, but do you think they will be living so easily? The Norwegian government's sponsored product called Telenor. Huge money, big pocket company. Hardly bothers next 15 years how it goes. They can run the operation 15 years break even. MTS hardly bothers. So few Indian company might be under trouble, but not these companies. And knowing inside I am talking about. It's not that I am talking about just I read somewhere. Because I am in VIOM. VIOM's second largest opco is Uninor. We got impacted because they have now decided in last month they will be leaving 4 states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala as well as Odisha, and they will be concentrating in north part predominantly. So we will be losing around 15 crore every month. But they are different players, they are not going to live anywhere. And if they are coming, Airtel knows they are the one company those who have the power to threat them always. Very aggressive. We used to know Airtel is one of the aggressive company, but they are also equally aggressive and sometimes better than them. lot of ecosystem got changed. What are happening, recently what's happening, the new telecom policy was to come, it got delayed, but it is showing that active and passive are going to get merged. Now I will just explain what is called active. You have JT, Ericsson, Nokia, Siemens. These are the companies, those who are the active partner for this Airtel, Voda, Idea, whatsoever companies. They are the companies, those who are actually giving the service to you. Behind them, the active support is given by these guys. Passive support given by us, Indus, VIOM, Bharti Infratel, GTL, these are the companies. Those who give the towers, keep the passive infra ready, and active guys come and give the microwave spectrum, and then that's how you get your mobile connected. We are going to shift to data. It's no doubt about it. 3G may not be successful that way, because our bottom pyramid, whatever the total million subscribers we have in country, our bottom pyramid shows that our lower income group are having the 70% of our mobile in their hand. And they hardly bother other than text and voice. So something new is required to influence them to either go for the video. A lot of people will be going for video. Music. India has an obsession of hearing old songs, retro songs of Kishore Kumar, Muhammad Rafi's. So young generation also do hear that. So that those are the channels will be opened up, and games, of course. The moment it will catch up, you all will be seeing that again will be moving. We will be requiring the high-speed data download, and once the high-speed data download will be there, we will be in a position to see the 3Gs or 4Gs are emerging. One of the biggest threat, the data growth cushioning, continuing, voice decline, but profitability is under threat. What does it mean? You have seen that how the call rate has gone down. We are the employee of the fortunate few who don't pay for telecom. And we have a telephone direct to home, DTH connections free, 2 mobile free, 1 telephone landline free. So we feel very fortunate in that way, after coming from elevator industry. But I know that everyone has to pay for every call. Now think of the call rate which is to us done. Probably this is the market most educated young buddies, software, BPOs, KPOs will be there. They will be using this. They also hardly bother. They don't. Calcutta got 3G again, 4G again, but it didn't work. The biggest drawback is that our infrastructure is not that strong. Our infrastructure actually doesn't give me a feel that I have really got a movie loaded in 1 minute's time. Which is the other way around in Japan, US. Once you just say that download, within a minute you get your entire movie in your PC or laptop whatsoever you have. But here it takes some donkey, 30 minutes to 2 hours. We keep on torrent.com, right? So, BitTorrent if I am not wrong. I also used to do once. Now hardly gets time. Yeah.
I had a question regarding the 3G that we are talking about. But I believe primarily 3G was far more costlier than the data services of 2G, which were a major reason for the failure of 3G in India. Being a customer,
cost is one of the factors. But if you ask us why we failed that, cost is of course. But if the volume was there, we could have played the same way how we played for 2G also. But it is not that only cost. Problem is that spectrum had an issue. Today I have a tower. I have microwave antennas which can cater up to 25 kilometers, but 3G technology requires only 10 kilometers. After that again you need one more tower, or your spectrum should be such a heavier one, so that you should not get disturbed. See, while you are working, I am sharing, I am a telecom guy, I am sharing. I came from Jaisalmer to Delhi, I was about to download lot my emails, and whole road I couldn't do it. The entire 8 hours journey I couldn't do it just because I hardly get my CDMA network over there. We have around 1200 towers, but CDMA network is horrible. And CDMA network is such, towers distance are not like typically 50-60 kilometers, and 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers also you can keep the tower. That's our CDMA technology. So that's why India also failed CDMA technology. The reason is that. The problem is the spectrum scarcity. If you ask us for the 3G, why Calcutta have been chosen? Calcutta have a very dense network, very dense network. City Calcutta, VIOM do have 4 tenant shared towers on an average, which is one of the best in industry. But in Calcutta, money matters. We don't spend time by paying money like this. We'll go and evening we'll go to some good cultural program and watch that rather than doing this. It's a different mindset. You will see that what will happen, that fiber will come. One industry will come. If any one of you are willing to choose one industry, fiber industry is going to emerge in India again. Because what will happen, that spectrum had its limitations. Spectrum can be increased and enhanced from 25 to 50 watt kilometers whatsoever they will be doing. But if you get a fiber and infill towers, like today the towers are in between 50 kilometers one after another, if they can get another 2 towers or can get the fiber in place, then this data access issue won't be a problem. See, it could have been like an addiction for us also. If you got one movie download in 1 minute's time and you pass it to 20 odd friends, they also do it in 20 odd minutes, next 20 minutes. That's how it spread. No? It didn't happen like that. So how this?
You see, Union, one of the leading companies which doesn't have a 3G, we didn't bid for 3G. So, can you say that they have got a better understanding of Indian customer rather than other leading telecom sectors in India?
See, it's a question which you are asking. I am working for this country now, for this consumer forum, but I am thinking only about today. If world got changed and world actually got towards the 4G, India also has to move. You can't deny that 3G as a product can't run over here. You can't simply wipe off. Only game is that before 3G could evolve over here, 4G has come. And since the technology is much more proven and much more stronger, it will fail there probably. Wait and watch. But for Uninor, Uninor had a lot of other problems. Late entrant, Airtel had a solid base in North India. Uninor tried to fight with them in North India. Airtel have a very strong base in southern part of India. They tried to fight with them over here. And as a late entrant, you will be always facing that problem. This market, it's a fast market. Like whatever you buy, you get it, and India has a typical loyalty mindset. एक बार ले लिया तो fine, we'll wait and watch. If not, we don't let's change. How many of you change your mobility that we have done? Mobile transformation. Is there anyone tried? One. Dadaji always do try because Punjab is the only country. Punjab is the only state where they will do all experimentations. I worked in North India and with my boss, all my bosses are Sadaji only. So I have a very strong bond with particularly Punjab.
So one question.
Yeah.
You said the companies are bleeding, but
How they are running.
how they are bleeding? Because their fixed cost will be high, I agree with that, but their consumer base is very high, which will the world
The revenue is very much there, but I am saying that bleeding means, you talk about Reliance Railcom, Anil Ambani Group. What is the status of them? You know their Reliance Mobile. Aircel has given 30% manpower reduction yesterday. Bleeding is nothing but downside. So I had a 30,000 crore company, now it is 27,000 crore company. You see, 3,000 crore has been reduced. So now if you see that it is not bleeding, it's a different game. He has 27,000 crore, but his market valuation has gone down by 3,000 crore. Airtel itself, 37% drop quarter to quarter. That's bleeding itself. See your R2, we call it, average rates per unit. R2 is so low, you can't. Now they are talking, no, we should increase the rate, base rate. There's a lot of discussion happening. I think Airtel has already raised some 20 paise they have increased, if I am not wrong, 2 months back. They have to happen. You can't.
That's you're talking about RU, but I read it somewhere. How does it matter? They wouldn't reduce increasing. Fixed cost is same. So RU is giving the people who are joining the new customers who are coming. Because then they
How many percentage of silent customers are there out of the 852 million, which is India who claim that we have 852 million subscribers? lot of people do have a mobile, they don't contact, but they don't talk. See, these are all good numbers. The way we do see now, the markets are very
Possible number?
not really. Not really. If I have, see, game is that I'll be stretching my balloon. I hope I am moving time, right?
Yes.
Great. See, if I get my consumer group or my customers base from X to 2X, then only that would be successful. But it has not happened. It has probably happened X to 1.2X. So my rate, which I fixed or brought it down to have the competitions and win into the competition, actually couldn't do it. My base, I failed that I'll be having 850 today, I'll be having 1,200 million subscribers. But we are moving on probably 10% growth year on year. But my rates, I fixed to compete and to outpower Uninor. I couldn't do it. Yes, you have some questions.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah.
This is probably a little off track, but when you're talking, we have a lot of studies which are about the concerns that have been raised about the ill effects of these spectrum on people's health.
I will come to. I will cover everything. Radiations.
Yeah.
And edge technology has also evolved, so companies are betting on edge rather than 3G.
Maybe it's true. You have some questions.
So like during our economics class, we were having an interesting discussion about this spectrum allocation and the prices and the RPO.
Winner's curse.
Not the winner's curse, like it was more on the side of like
3G auction is actually winner's curse for India.
Exactly.
I will come and cover it somewhere. I have that in my mind. If you allow me, I'll just cover it. How to retain data profitability is a big question mark. 3G, if at all we have to grow, or 4G we have to grow that, we have to say that how we can woo our customers to actually move from this voice and text to the data. And that is about to come, it's a matter of time. A lot of competitions are on. I do not know, you will be obsessed. I have seen my boss, he is around 56 now, going to retire in next 2 years down the line. Whenever he travels, I have seen that he is with that chess. Or sometimes with the card. Always. Even the big meeting, CEO sitting there, he is talking and still he is in that. I say that sometimes, what is it? Stress buster or what? Okay.
So what we were discussing was like there is some around 30,000 crores of bidding price for 3G auction and all those stuff. The professor said was that we are considering like RPO is for per person who is taking the services. But what about the per unit charges, per minute charges which are being computed by the per minute cost which is being
incurred because of that service you have provided for.
Yes.
I will be coming to that. I will be bit of cost analysis and I have carried for you so that I understand that where actually you are bidding. We have that, I have that to cover actually. Major problem is that once data would be coming and you all will be jumping to actually transfer the data and transform the data from here to there. How we as an industry will be in a position to take care of that load or traffic we call it. We are not that strong as yet. Our infrastructures are not in a position to handle such kind of new generations technology. We have a limitations with our spectrum scarcity. We have a limitations for the fixed lines or fixed fibers. We don't have. Whatever fibers we have installed, I think 5-6 years back. Today, again we have to think of. And that too, earlier ours, if you see there are only metro cities, that means tier 1, and few tier 2 capital, state capital, they do have that fibers network. Other than that, if you go to Patna and all, you hardly will be finding that fiber network in the, other than the 60-kilometer radius of that, where the secretariats are there. So we will be coming to that. That's why I am saying that if anyone would love to pursue for the telecom industry, this one industry which is coming is the fiber industry. Next 6 years, job assured. Now, let us talk about India. See the growth. Mobile penetration 71%. I could able to manage the data practice to my friend in Academy. And subscription base, I have the last year's official recorded number, 52 million subscriptions. We are 1.2 billion populous country, where we have 20 odd billion are in place called Uttar Pradesh. If we separate our Uttar Pradesh from our country, it can be the 5th populous country in the world. You know that? That kind of people do stay. How many are from Uttar Pradesh? Both here. Both in Dharamchalan. So I travel maximum over there. So I am passed out from Lucknow, so you can figure out Lucknow is one of my favorite places.
In this graph, what was the projected value? What was the projected growth value?
This time period, any industry don't think that 72% of the growth rate we have projected ever for. That's also not there. I also do not know the answer, but I personally feel that any industry 10 years they never failed. And I remember I attended a session when I joined Bharti. Akhil Gupta and Ranjan Dikkal both were there to introduction induction programs. Mr. Gupta was to tell you, you do 10 work, do 2 mistakes, it is acceptable. Out of your, but you can't become complacent because 15 years back we were a small company in Okla. Today we are 15,000 crore company, and we have a dream that will become 40,000 crore company. That's the way they do see the potentials. So you think of 1.2 billion populous country we have, only 852 million subscribers. Now you put e to the power x, and on x you put any value. And think of that how this industry can grow if the moment you will be improving your GDP and you will be allowing your kids to have mobile as well.
And load of the age as well.
And the infrastructure will come. It's India like other sugar technology. India is something like fast to get the product after they develop the roads and all. Correct? India Commonwealth Games will be decided on same day, but infrastructure will come.